one. Who? Manchester. Manchester United.
This is VanCam. This is VanCam. You waited for.
Oh, is that right, Steve? Well, I'm going to nickname you the Wasp because they're annoying, nobody likes them, everybody avoids them, and once, now and again, you will get stung. I want that 20 quid back. My brothers don't die, we just fussy, but I told her come and meet me at the coffee shop and I'll have a cappuccino with a sprinkle of chocolate on it because that's the way I like it and that's the way I roll. Welcome everybody, my name is Kev Ashford and this is the not world famous ManUtd VanCam. Is it going to, it's going up? Yes, like to change it up from, you know, now and again anyway. Hope everybody is well. If you're looking behind, yes, there is a brown envelope. Oh, what could be in it? I've been sent some. Anybody that watches VanCam knows that Kev gets pure excited when things get sent. It was no different when Bowman sent me the helmet, John Vallandigham sent me a VanCam mug, and Jeff in Nigeria sent me a 7-inch dildo laced with anthrax. Wasn't the best, but yeah, any gifts are welcome. Thank you very much. So we will be opening that later on. Do you know what? In fact, I was going to leave it as a cliffhanger, a bit of a minge tease. You know, we'll do it later on just to keep you. What's in the package? Let's have a look. What's in the package? Okay, so this week's package has been sent in from Urban Vandal. I think it's Urban Vandal Clothing. What could it be? Let's open her up and see. Rhyme that. It fits like a fanny and a pair of knickers. Whoa, look at the guns, man. It fits my hench frame. Thank you very much to the good people at Urban Vandal Clothing. I will put a link in the description if you want to get yourself into that store and get a t-shirt just like Kev's. They do other t-shirts. I'm sure VanCam regulars, Burt Whistle, Dave Conreen will want to have a blip through that. So there'll be a link in the description of the video if you want to get in there. There's a Tasty George Best one. There's some other ones to do like with music. You got your Stone Roses ones and that. So have a look. But yes, what a start to the week this is. Okay, so last weekend was international weekend football wise, which is a big crock of horse shit if you ask me. It just gets in the way of the proper stuff, and that does return this weekend. Manchester United at home to Leicester. Early team news, we know that Luke Shaw, Paul Pogba and Tony Marshall will miss out through injury, which does leave us down to the bare bastard bones as an attacking force. So it'll be interesting to see how Solskjaer's going to shake his pack up and what he's going to do with that. There was a match at the Etihad, Vincent Kompany's testimonial. Fantastic player and that, but it did seem fitting that he was injured and couldn't actually play in it. But anybody that did actually catch a glimpse or seen the clips on the internet will know that Paul Scholes has still got it. And by God, could we do with Paul Scholes this weekend against Leicester? We could do with him anyway. Him, Carrick and Robin van Persie. Bring the lot of them back. So what? They've got a combined age of 275. Man, don't give a shit about that. Just play them on the pitch. They've still got it up here. Yeah, they might not have the legs to run about. Still got it. But this clip from Paul Scholes, I mean, the noise I made when I see it. In fact, it took me 37 views to actually work out what he'd done. And then by the time my brain had processed it, I was like, he's going to kick, he's used the other foot. And this noise come out of me, man. It doesn't it very rarely comes out, but it was a bit like, oh. And then you usually have to go and change my underwear and that. And in this instance, I did, because Paul Scholes, man, it's a glimpse of what we used to have. We have to remember them great days, because we are shit at the minute. And back then when Paul Scholes was bossing the midfield with Roy Keane, Beckham, Giggs, I'm going to do it again. Oh, It was like that. It was orgasmic, man. Yes, it certainly was. Big shout out again for the t-shirt. I'm absolutely loving this. Link in the description. This week we're going to be doing the big VanCam debate. We'll do CockStroker of the week, and we'll have a quick look at a few of your comments. Last week's video, Sir Alex versus Roy Keane, Keane versus Sir Alex, whatever, was one of the best interactive videos. The amount of likes, the amount of comments on it, and for the fact that it had like 3,000 views within a couple of days. I know the big accounts will be laughing, you pauper, we get that on our videos in 10 seconds. Yeah, well, Big Kev doesn't, and it's a big deal to me because it proved very popular. There was loads of different opinions, so I think we should just get straight into the big VanCam debate. We're going to find out who you were siding with, you know, who was right, Sir Alex or Roy Keane. Was it a close one, this? Hopefully you voted on the poll. Loads of people dropped comments in. I'm going to read a few of them out. We'll get the gist of what people were saying. Yeah, let's just do this shit. Let's get into it. You lot just sit back, pin back your ears, crack open the beers, and get a football lesson from Kev Ashford.
The big VanCam debate.
I've never driven one, Steve! This! Oh, yeah, got it! Okay, so this is... Let me get the window open, man, I'm roasting. What do you get? There we go. This is the big VanCam debate. Now, last week we did it on Roy Keane and Sir Alex Ferguson. I was asking the question, basically, whose side were you on in the argument of the way that Roy Keane actually left Manchester United. Now, it wasn't surprising. There was a right mixture of comments that come out in last week's video. So Cockney Red was one of the first things, said, if Roy Keane was captain of this current shower of shit, we would still make top four. He's a true club legend, and it's been forgotten by the club due to the fallout with Fergie, which is something that I totally agree with. Leighton Pisani said, Keno always. Paul Michael Jarvis said, Darren, Ferguson wouldn't even get in our current team, so Keane was spot on, which is a fair point. Stephen Sharrock, it's a bit like saying, who do you love more, your mum or your dad? I can't pick a side with Fergie or Keno. United, so that was a bit of sitting on the fence. And Ash Bryant, as for Keane versus Fergie, there's so many other targets for Keane to go after. It all seems a bit bitter for me. Viva Fergie. Don Grace, Keane was a loyal leader and won with class. Everything for United. Fucking window. United in his 12 years at the club, he was a real superstar, and after knowing what happened come the end, I backed Roy against Fergie 100%. Sam Green, Sir Alex Ferguson. Now, I wanted to read out a few of them just to give you an idea of, you know, the way that the voting was going to go on this one, but obviously it's too hot, man. That's the one. Just to give you an idea of actually how close the voting was. Everybody's had their say. So the vote, who's right, whose side were you on, Roy Keane or Sir Alex Ferguson? 63% of the vote, which is pretty colossus in a way, but they've sided with Roy Keane. Roy Keane, who likes to pull, you know, this face now and again and go, it's nonsense. Okay, so this week's big VanCam debate is basically going to be on the decision, or the so-called decision, by the England team to walk off the pitch. This is their upcoming game against Bulgaria in Bulgaria. They're actually, apparently it's been leaked, the news, that players have decided that they will walk off the pitch if the players are racially abused. Now, I want to know where you stand on this one. This is the reason I bring it into the big VanCam debate. Will it solve anything? No team has ever done this before, so by walking off the pitch, it's going to make a massive statement, especially towards FIFA, worldwide. It would make headlines. It'd show a stance, a solidarity against racism. But for me, I look at it, if the England team do decide to walk off if they're racially abused, I mean, simply it is, you walk off, they've won. You know, the racists have won. And if England are to be, say, 2-3-0 up at half-time, and this news is now filtering out that they're going to walk off the pitch, what does that give the Bulgarian fans scope to do? Of course they're going to do it. So who wins there? England walk off the pitch, the game will probably be postponed, it'll be, you know, called off or whatever. Who's the real winner there? You know, or are you a firm believer that if England do walk off the pitch, it'll be making a huge stance, huge statement? Maybe you don't even care whether the points go to England or whatever. Will they have to play the game again behind closed doors? What I'm saying is, if the 3-0 up, 2-0 up, whatever, after 10 minutes, you know, it does give the Bulgarian fans scope to do this, and this news has been leaked. So are you with this or are you not? Basically, England players walking off the pitch in a solidarity against racism. Are you for or against it? So basically, walk on or stay on. Yeah, let me know and I'll make sure you vote. So up here, not where that light is, somewhere there will be a little eye. You click on that, cast your vote, and next week we'll find out the majority of the VanCam community what they're thinking. Do you want England to walk off the pitch if players are racially abused? And there is no sitting up on that fence. Who wants to sit up there? Just pure shithouses, isn't it? Let me know anyway, I'll let you know and try and crack on and drive this thing.
The big VanCam debate.
Okay, so do you think the England players should walk off the pitch if they are racially abused? Which, if I was a betting man, it wouldn't even be worth betting on, because it is going to happen. It's just whether England walk off the actual pitch and make a stance against it. So I'll be interested to know your thoughts on that. Make sure you get in the comment section and do all that shit. Right, next up we're going to do CockStroker of the week. Tough one this week, or was it? Let's just find out.
The CockStroker of the week.
Right, you wee bastard, ya. This is CockStroker of the week. This week I've compiled a top 4, so without further ado, I'm going to run you straight through them. Number four is an old clip. Before you start getting in the comments, Kev, where were you? This was years ago. I'm not arsed, because Jamie Redknapp has never been in CockStroker of the week, and this week, because it's my show, I've fitted him in. And yes, it's that time. This is Jamie Redknapp, right? He's a pundit. He's paid probably £1 million a year just for spouting shite and supposed to be giving us his expert opinion on football. And yes, he comes out and basically says, look, this is a corner flag.
First of all, I just want to look at this. That's a corner flag there, as you can see.
I know what you're thinking, Kev, scraping the barrel here, but just bear with me. Number three this week is a joint effort, and it's basically Michael Owen and Alan Shearer. Michael Owen's got a new book out, so he's got to basically get selling them really quick. He needs to get it out there, all the best stories, and basically this is because Michael Owen and Alan Shearer basically had it out, not had it off, had it out online. I mean, seriously, man, these are grown men. You know, I used to idolise Alan Shearer when I was growing up, and then when he turned United down, I thought, you dickhead, put it down. Anyway, yes, it's basically because they've had an argument on Twitter. Come on, lads, you're old enough. You know each other. You've been teammates. Surely you could just ring each other up, say, you know, I don't like you. You're a knobhead. Well, you're a knobhead. You know, you're not going to get anywhere. You're a knobhead. You're a knobhead. Yeah. Listen, meet me down the Dog and Duck. We'll have a pint and we'll discuss this. That's what should have happened. But in this modern day fuckery world that we live in, they decide to have it out online, and it made the news. A Twitter argument made the news. He come in jointly at number 3, and he's coming straight in at number 2. It is Michael Owen. Yeah, Michael Owen, basically, yes. Have you heard? He's got a book coming out. But the Twitter spat between Alan Shearer and Michael Owen basically come down to the last match of the season, the year that Newcastle were relegated. They were ready to face Aston Villa. Apparently Michael Owen come into the gaffer's office, which was Alan Shearer at the time. He's basically sat down and said, Gaffer, I'm not ready to play today. You know, I only feel 70% fit. Yeah, if you're 70% fit, Michael Scouse Bastard Owen, you play. You know, your team needed to win that day to stay up. So, yeah, logic would side with Alan Shearer on this. The fact that, you know, I'm not 77% fit. My contract's ready to run out. I'm looking to move on because I never enjoyed myself at Newcastle, which is something that he's actually stated. And for that reason, he's at number 2. Michael Owen said that, you know, he never wanted to go to Newcastle. What is it? Was it the £120,000 a week that they offered you, Michael? No, just never wanted to go. Or is it because you were shit at that stage and nobody wanted you? Oh, it's a low blow. He's in at number 2. That leaves me to tell you, number 1 CockStroker of the week this week goes to Inter Milan fans. Yeah, in fact, the Inter Milan ultras. Oh, Kev, is it because they took Lukaku and, you know, Alexis Sanchez off you? No, it's not, you dickhead. I don't even talk about anyone, sorry. It's not because of that, yeah? Basically, it is because Lukaku was racially abused before taking a penalty in a Serie A game. Now, before it, if you've seen the video, it's quite evident. You know, if you've got a set of ears and you can hear monkey chants just before he's coming up to take this penalty. But unbelievably, and this is how the Italians work, it's unbelievable what they get away with. The Inter Milan ultras personally wrote to Lukaku to tell him to forget about it. It's part and parcel of playing football in Italy, and actually it's a sign, are you ready for this? A sign of respect. So them fans that racially abused Lukaku actually were doing it as a sign of respect. Seriously? No. And for that reason, the Inter Milan ultras are number 1 CockStroker of the week this week. I'm exhausted.
CockStroker of the week.
Okie dokie, so there we go. Another week, another shower of CockStrokers. Number 1 this week. Inter Milan fans basically claiming that, you know, there is no problem of racism in Italian football. And for me, if you keep burying your heads in the sand, it will never get solved, you shower of racists. Next, I believe you're a racist now, Farah! That just come into my head then. Honestly, I don't know what is wrong with me. That is Father Ted. Next, we're going to do your comments. Usually I would do the Fantasy League football update, the VanCam one, but there's absolutely no point doing it because you don't get any points off international weekend. So the big shit kicks in again this weekend, so make sure you make your changes, do them wisely. I've done mine anyway. I'm certainly not going to tell you because I'm on par with Burt Whistle now and onwards and upwards for Big Kev. So we're going to end with just a look at a few comments from last week's show. Make sure you get a comment in, and if you want to nominate a CockStroker, it could be anyone. Your dad might be doing your head in, or maybe your granddad, I don't know, your sister. Anyone can be a CockStroker. You know what I'm talking about. Just get it in and I'll have a look at it. You can get in touch, all the usual shit is up there. So yeah, let's end with a few comments. Before I get into your comments, I want to say a special thanks to these people that should come up here. So that is Dan Wills Gaming, Alex Rudd, Gungshi, and the Craze of Withenshaw. That's the Conreen brothers. Thank you very much for that. Like I always say, you don't need to do it. If you feel the need to do it, then that is great. But obviously the £10 one there did get used up last week for my anniversary. Couple of drinks down at the bar at the, what was it called, the Village Hotel in Hyde. Only staying about 10-15 minutes from where I live, but it's nice to get away. And a big shout out to all the lads that I met in the bar. They called us over at the table, basically spent the night with them. They were all just on a piss up and that, so fair play. You know who you are if you're watching. They've never seen VanCam, but they have now. Yeah. Right, unfortunately, we have a technical issue. That's a fancy couple of words for basically saying that the iPad has run out of battery life and I've got no way of charging it at all. So I can't do your comments because I can't remember them all. There was that many of them. But what I will say is your comments will return next week. So that is the green light now to get a comment into this video. Second week on the row, I know that I haven't done it, but I'm really sorry. But that'll make next week's section a whole lot more fun because I did have some comments saved there that I wanted to read out from VanCam regulars and that. There's some great comments, but we will do it next week. What I will say is the other week I did forget to do me Come On United and somebody actually blamed me. Hashtag blame Kev. I believe it was trending in countries all around the world. Wasn't. But yeah, there was a hashtag flying about. Wasn't trending. But blame Kev because I didn't do the Come On United. United went and drew with Southampton. Bit harsh. Don't really believe, you know, that there was anything in that. It's probably just pure coincidental. But what I will say is I've an absolute mint weekend. I've got a busy one myself. Won't tell you what I'm up to because I could, man could get arrested in different countries across the globe. But anyway, for United, we're playing Leicester. Jamie Vardy is on fire. I think he's an absolute gobshite. And if anybody knows Jamie Vardy better than, you know, anybody else is going to be Harry Maguire, and he's in our team now. So hopefully Harry can deal with the threat of Vardy. Hopefully we can actually put 11 players out on the pitch, because we are down to the bare bones. But the thing is, you know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is clearing out the shit, the dead wood. You know, if he has to play the kids, do it. At least these kids who have come up through the system know what it's like to play for United. They know what it's all about, playing for the badge and that. And all that's left for me to say for Man United against Leicester 3 o'clock on Saturday at Old Trafford is, come on, United! A nice one for the t-shirt. Don't know why I'm shouting. I said your love, keep on lifting me higher and higher. Nice one for watching the video. And thanks to everybody who has subscribed to VanCam. You can follow me on all the usual social media platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Plenty of Fish. So make sure you give me a follow. Nice one if you dropped a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. This is VanCam. Nice one.